Good morning, everyone. It's great to have you on. Today's going to be a little bit different from our normal 504 discussion. We've got an announcement to make, if you will, and to talk about some stuff in the SBA small business world, not directly associated with 504, but we think it all ties together ultimately. So I wanted to make you aware of what we're doing in the realm of economic development. We've been working closely with the SBA to work on serving or helping underserved businesses have greater access to capital. Had a number of meetings in the last year and a half, and we've come up with a solution that I want to share with you today. We formed, it's not really a legal entity, it's an alliance called the Utah Small Business Alliance. This is a coalition of lenders and small businesses, chambers of commerce, economic developers, etc., to try and address this problem, which is helping underserved communities and small businesses access capital to start or to grow their businesses. I've been a commercial lender for 40 years and was completely oblivious to this being a problem, but I have learned since in this last year plus that there are significant challenges for these communities to access capital for racial, cultural, educational, or a variety of reasons. So that's what the Alliance, the Small Business Alliance, is going to attempt to address. I kind of like to look at it under the metaphor, if you will, of a big tent. We need to bring all of the interested parties together in the tent to solve the problem, to try and address it. So we've developed a strategy, and as we've gone through these meetings over this last year, it's kind of become very clear to me that there's four basic issues that are at the root cause of this. Trust between the lending community and small business owners. Again, I've been oblivious to this, but it really is a problem on some level, and so we need to strive to build the trust between lenders and small business owners. Awareness. There's a very real issue with a lot of these small business owners just aren't aware of what's available. Some think they can't qualify for loans at all. Some can qualify for more than what they think they can. So there's a real knowledge gap. Education of small business owners, and this is a challenge too. We want to try to increase their knowledge all the way from very basic, rudimentary financial awareness, literacy, up to making major loan transactions, and then looking outside the box to provide some grant and business loan access to capital for these folks. This is the basic organization of the Alliance, the steering committee. Now, Mountain West Foundation, I'll talk about this a little bit later, but this is an exciting announcement we also want to make today, is that Mountain West Small Business Finance is forming an affiliated entity, a charitable foundation, to help us gather funds so that we can accomplish some of these goals. And we'll also be the fiscal agent for the steering committee. It's composed of these other entities, resource partners, chambers, and member small businesses. This is a quick look at who's the steering committee, members, leaders of SBA, Mountain West, and several of these underserved small business chambers. Now, this has been fun. Mountain West Foundation will be a 501c3 charitable entity, which enables us to now accept donations to do some of these education, grant funding, and even some lending. This is obviously not for 504 purposes, but some more of these kind of economic development sort of loans. So we'll be both the fiscal agent and the resource partner. Resource partners are the muscle in this alliance. They'll be the ones, they'll consist of lenders, the chambers, economic developers, who will provide the loans and grants and education to these small business owners. Chambers of commerce representing these communities will also be key elements of this. They'll be providing education to their communities, as well as being recipients of grants that will enable them to get greater bandwidth to do the education for their member small businesses. And then finally, just small businesses from these various underserved communities will be important members of this alliance. We want to basically make an invitation, besides announcing the existence of this alliance and of the foundation that we're forming. We want to make an invitation to all of our lending partners to join us in this effort. So the question becomes, what can you do? Well, first of all, we invite you to assist the Alliance and the Foundation in providing training and education to these small business owners on a variety of subjects, anywhere from financial literacy to preparing an SBA loan application and in between and beyond that. Lots of education opportunities are needed. We would invite some of you to think about ways to make on a prudent basis some out of the credit box loans that you might not normally make. You would normally consider them non-bankable, but we hope that you can find a way to consider that as well. Now, we're going to be having a number of USBA events. There's going to be at least 2 conferences a year, as well as a number of training events throughout the year. And so we're wanting to really make these events a big deal, and we invite you to come and attend to get to know these folks. I've come to the obvious conclusion that no matter what boundaries or perceived differences may exist, if 2 people get in the room and talk to each other, trust starts to build. And so we invite all of our lending partners to come and join us with these events to build that trust and to create a greater awareness for these member small businesses as to what's out there. And then, of course, once we get organized and get the C3 organization done, we'll be wide open to receive either CRA or just charitable contributions to our foundation, which will enable us to make these grants primarily to chambers to do education, or even directly to a small business to fund greater education efforts that we'll want to put together, and then do some of these, like I said, out of the box loans. So that's the invitation. That's the announcement. We're very excited about this direction we're taking. It's a whole economic development arm that we've developed, where we are not in any way going to take our eye off the 504 ball. That's still our main reason for existence, and we're still going to pursue that with full vigor. But just wanted everybody to know about this alliance and about our foundation, so that you can help us accomplish this very needed, solve this problem in the small business community. So thank you for your time. I don't know if there's any questions. I think we've got Danny on the line to see if there are any. We appreciate everybody's attendance on this. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me with any questions or suggestions. Again, we need and invite your participation in this. It's essential to make this effort a success. So we look forward to working with you in this, as well as in our continued 504 efforts. Thanks.